This video is intended to show an installation of the Windows Transitrace software using an actual Windows computer. I have to apologize for the quality. This piece of junk I have for a computer is so old that it is incapable of recording the screens into a video format like a good modern computer can do. So this presentation consists of a series of pictures of the screen taken with my cell phone. Yada yada yada. Okay, the first thing you do to load a copy of the Windows Transitrace software is to define a folder where you're going to put it. I'm going to call it Transitrace Demo. Notice I already have a Transitrace file folder, but I'm going to create another one. As you can see, I have now created that Transitrace demo with a maker or whatever Windows command is. By the way, I'm using a command screen, which is typical of what we do for Windows Transitrace. You can use a PowerShell. There's some slight differences. After I've completed the, after I've made the folder to place the thing, I plug my USB stick in, and as you can see, when that occurs, the Windows brings up this inspector panel. Kingston is the name of my USB stick, and you notice that the contents of the stick is shown. In particular, the WTT underscore install file is located. I intend to use the copy to command at the top, which I click. It asks me where I wish to copy that file to, and I say Transitrace demo and then copy, and it copies it over there. Now when I go back to that directory and look at the dir, you will notice that in fact that my WTT underscore install is there. To load the software, you merely type in a single command, tar -zxf, followed by the name of the WTT underscore install file. When that executes, a number of elements are loaded into the Transitrace demo directory, as you can see here. To execute the Windows Transitrace software from this command file, you merely type in WTT. On a PowerShell, you would have to type in a period \WTT. And the WTT.bat file is executed and in fact brings up the software the same as you saw in previous videos. Notice I did not select a category, so it asks me to. I'll type in an X, which will say which one do you want. I'm going to use 9 F2A, and here is the F2A category parameters. The system is now ready to go into contest or auto mode. We're going to go into contest for this demo. So I type a C. First thing it asks me for is the registry to use. I'm going to use the World Champs 2014 registry. The registry is nothing more than a numbered list of competitor names that will be entered in the contest. It can be created on the fly in WTT, or it can be created ahead of time, which is the recommended process using some sort of a text editor. I'm going to choose 10, and when I do, it brings up the list of competitors that I have previously entered into the registry. The next thing that the system requires is the identification of the competitor that is going to now fly an attempt. I'm going to select Alex Valashev, number 32, again, just because he's familiar and a teammate. Okay, I have done that. You'll notice that at the top, the competitor number and name is listed. And the program is now saying, press the handle judge switch and release to start the attempt. Normally, the handle judge would merely click the handle judge switch at the beginning of the attempt upon signal from the competitor. In this case, my simulator is doing that, so I'm going to start the simulator running for Alex's flight. And as you can see, the simulator starts sending timer pulses that are mimicking the actual flight from 2014. Here they come. You notice that the time left is counting down in the upper left corner. He has put his handle in the pylon. As noted in the upper right corner, the actual timed laps are shown, and this on this screen being merely an interim informational screen, because at the completion of his flight, the system says, okay, the final result screen is prepared. That occurs after the timing end and after the airplane has landed. And in fact, this is the result screen for Alex's flight from 2014. 294.8 was his time. That was the speed he turned at that time. When he is finished, you type in N for the next flight, and you have options that you can follow then. One of the things that you can do is to look at the log file. This is the log entry. This is merely a text file that is stored in the logs directory of the Transitrace demo folder. If at any time later you wish to go back and review the logs, they are there, named with a timestamp type of format so that you can see which log you're looking at. The Windows Transitrace software allows you to actually view the logs that are available for the current execution of the program. All logs are saved on a per day basis, so that if I start the Transitrace software a second time later on, the logs that are created then will be merely appended to the file from an earlier execution. This video shows that in fact the software is easily loaded on a Windows machine and in fact runs identically there as to any other environment.